What's up guys, Flashfire here, and today I'm bringing you another team building video. As you can see, today we are building around a core of Mega Metagross and Hydreigon. Now before we get started, if you can drop a like right down below this video. I want to see if we can get this to 65 likes. If we can, I'll drop a paste bin of this team down in the description so you guys can copy and paste it into Showdown and play with it, because hopefully this is going to be a nice team to play with. It's kind of fun. It's a little bit different. Obviously we're running Hydreigon, which is normally UU. So we're trying something different. This is a team that John wanted to use. John came to me and said, I want to build a team with Mega Metagross and Hydreigon. I have one, can you improve it for me? So I did that, and hopefully this is going to be good. So if you want to go and check out John, his link will be down below, I guess. He's a cool dude. He actually did a live with this team already, but I haven't done as much testing with this team as I would like to. But I figured I would bring it to you guys because it seems to be pretty good. It seems to be doing pretty well. So anyways, we have Mega Metagross right here. Meteor Mash, Zen Headbutt, Hammer Arm, Ice Punch. Obviously, there's consideration to running Bullet Punch, Grass Knot, Earthquake, all these kind of things. I feel like with the rest of the team that we've got, this is the best moveset to be running on this thing. Obviously, Hammer Arm allows us to deal with Ferrothorn, Magnezone, all that kind of stuff. Ice Punch obviously hits all the dragons and your Landos and all that kind of thing. Then just Meteor Mash and Zen Headbutt, really, really powerful, nice stab attacks. So that's fantastic. This thing is such a threat in this tier, it's unbelievable. There are a few things that wall it. Things to note that wall it include Mega Sableye. Hippo will wall this set quite effectively, I think. And a couple of other things. So the rest of the team is geared around trying to remove those things and let this go through. Obviously, you've got your slow roll, that kind of stuff as well. So the Hydreigon here, these two actually pair offensively really nicely. We've got Draco, Dark Pulse, Fire Blast, Flash Cannon. The idea with this thing is basically it forces a lot of switches. It's fast enough that it outspeeds a lot of things. Obviously, your base 110s and your 100s outspeed and all that kind of thing, but it outspeeds a lot of stuff. And Draco hits like a truck. Obviously not as hard as a Lati Draco, but this thing has better coverage than a Lati, so I feel like there's merit in that. Fire Blast obviously hits your Sizzles and your Ferrothorns. Dark Pulse will do a lot of damage to Slowbro, Starmie, Latis on the Switch, which is fantastic. Then Flash Cannon's obviously there for fairies. The idea with this thing is, if you can force a switch with it and predict correctly, you should be able to get a 2-hit KO on something. So that's always really good. So yeah, it's a good wall breaker, and it's a good kind of just scary mon, which is good because obviously a lot of the stuff that wants to switch into this is stuff that Metagross wants to be dead. So that's good. The next thing we're going to go over is something that also pairs really well with Metagross, and it's Keldeo. This thing helps to deal with Metagross's checks and counters really nicely. So I figured I'd chuck it on here. We've got Sub, Calm Mind, Scold, and Secret Sword. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff that counters Metagross, or counters and checks Metagross, such as Hippo and all that kind of thing, and this sets up on and beats those. So that's what this is for. It's also just a really powerful sweeper in its own right. If you can get to +1, +2 with this thing, it can sweep teams very easily, especially with the sub up. That's just crazy good. So Scold, obviously fantastic with Secret Sword, is great. This is just a really powerful mon. Obviously, we drop a bit of power from not running Life Orb and all that kind of stuff, but obviously you wouldn't run Life Orb with Sub Calm Mind, that's just silliness. But, like, yeah, I feel like this is a really good mon, and it pairs really well with Metagross, so I figured I'd use it. Now, the next thing I want to go over is Clefairy, and this is a set that I have never used on the channel before, and I really like. I've never given it any thought before. This is something that John was using, and I was like, actually, I really like that. So this is, I think it's actually the standard Smogon set, but I'd never tried it before, and it's really cool. So we go 172 defense, and then 88 in special defense with a calm nature. And this allows us to live so much stuff. It means we don't get 2-hit KO'd by Mega Metagross Thunderbolt, Thunderous's Thunderbolt, Mega Diance's Moonblast, Lati Psyshock, Jolly Lopunny Return, Jolly Gyarados, Waterfall, Kyurem, Ice Beam. You just live so much stuff, it's crazy. So that's always good. And we're going to go Moonblast, Fire Blast, Soft Boiled, and Stealth Rock. This is a really reliable Stealth Rocker. 1v1's a Lati all day long. It's just pretty good. It's just pretty good. Obviously, there is a lot of merit to running Unaware here instead of Magic Guard, because it will allow you to get rid of a Mega Sableye, and it stops you getting killed by setup sweepers. But Magic Guard is actually really useful. It stops you taking hazards damage, it stops you taking status damage, and it makes this much more effective at just being kind of sticky and in the way and difficult to get rid of, which I really, really like. So obviously there is merit to running Unaware because it lets you get past setup sweepers, but I feel like this is pretty good as is. Now, the next thing we're going to go over is Rotem, because we currently don't have a bird spam check, and that means that we lose. So we just lose if Talonflame. So we're going to be running a pretty standard Rotem set, just to, this also gives us a nice check to Azu, which is always good, and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to go Hydro, Volt Switch, Will-O-Wisp, Pain Split, and then the standard I don't want to get wrecked by Azu set, which is I believe 44 in speed. Yep, just enough to outspeed max speed Azu. And then we go plus defense minus attack. We go 0 attack IVs, which we should do on Wheatley as well. This stops you taking unwanted foul play damage. I know it's minimal on these mons, but you know, it could happen. And then obviously this team has a lot of special attackers at the moment. It also doesn't have any Earthquake coverage, which we could be running on Metagross, but we aren't. We also don't have a Scarfer, all these kind of things. I'm sure quite a few of you can work out where I'm going with this, but we're going to be running Lando T in our final slot. Obviously, this means that the team doesn't have Defog, it doesn't have Rapid Spin, but that doesn't tend to be too much of a problem. We have 2 resists, 1 immunity, and 3 neutrals to Stealth Rock, so it's not too much of a problem. Hazard stacking is not a big thing in this tier, so hopefully it's not going to matter too much. Like I said, I have done some testing with this team, and the lack of defog doesn't seem to hurt us too much, so it's fine. But yeah, that's just where we're at. So we're going to run standard offensive Landorus, and that allows us to have a nice bulky pivot. Well, kind of bulky, sometimes bulky. So we got a nice Volt Turn core at the end here. We got Intimidate, which is lovely. Magic Guard, Status Absorber, Happy Days, Stealth Rocks, lovely. This thing can sweep teams and it's great. This thing can sweep teams and it's great. This thing forces so many switches and kills stuff. So hopefully, the idea, it's just a good team, man. I just really like it. I've tested it a few battles. It works really nicely and I really do like it. So if you guys like the team, be sure to drop a like down below. You get a paste spin. If you don't like it, tell me why you don't like it. But don't just tell me you don't like it. Tell me how you'd improve it, because I want to make the team better. And I want you to not be mad at me for using a bad team. So if you think it's terrible and you don't like me using 3 certain mons, don't tell me you don't like me using those 3 mons. Tell me you don't like them and tell me with things I can replace them with. So that'd be great. And I'll see you in the battles.